So you want me to believe that Osama bin Laden was in Abbottabad, but where are the proofs? Where are the pictures? I mean, Osama bin Laden, the world's most wanted terrorist, the terrorist because of whom America invaded Afghanistan, destabilized the Middle East and killed millions of people. And yet, after supposedly killing him, not a single picture was released. None. Within 24 hours, the body was dumped in the sea. In 2013, the Judicial Watch filed a case against the Pentagon in the Columbia District Court under the Freedom of Information Act. And they demanded evidence, pictures of Osama bin Laden before or after he was killed. And Pentagon, to the shock, said that we don't have any pictures. And this is documented in the court proceedings. Then the CIA intervened and said that we have 52 responsive details of Osama bin Laden, but we cannot release the pictures. And the excuse was, quote unquote, it will create anti-America propaganda. I mean, really? What anti-America propaganda could possibly emerge after killing the so-called worst terrorist in the history? Saddam Hussein's pictures were released. Gaddafi's death was broadcasted on CNN, BBC, and Fox News. Saddam himself was paraded on these news channels. Entire court proceedings were broadcasted. But bin Laden, not a single image, not one shred of proof. Why the double standards? Why hide the evidence if the story is true? And on top of it, no DNA evidence or autopsy report of bin Laden's body was published. When Saddam was killed, his DNA report was shared. And now let me talk about the White House version of events, which itself is a circus of contradiction. First, they said if Osama bin Laden was unarmed, people rightly asked if he was unarmed, why not arrest him and present him to the world? After all, he is the greatest terrorist in the history of humanity. Then suddenly the story flipped. Now he was armed. And both these stories were official statements of White House. Within days, it flipped, and now Osama bin Laden was armed and he used his wife as a human shield, and SEALs had to open fire. I mean, which one of them is true? And even the SEALs, Robert O'Neill says that Osama bin Laden was shot in the head, while another SEAL says no, he was shot in the chest first. Two different stories of the historic operation watched live by the President Barack Obama. And yet, no consistency, no clarity, and they cannot even identify how Osama bin Laden was killed. And then the Americans expect us to believe the narrative at face value from the very country that invaded Iraq on the pretext of weapons of mass destruction, only to later say that, sorry, no WMDs, our mistake. An entire nation turned into a graveyard based on lies. And I'm supposed to trust the same government's word without evidence? And now add to that, Hillary Clinton herself admitted, and she's on record saying that America created Al-Qaeda. Multiple CIA operatives have said the same thing. And Donald Trump, the sitting president of the United States, openly declared that Obama and Hillary Clinton created ISIS and Daesh. And you know it very well how these groups are interconnected with Al-Qaeda. So when America itself admits to creating these monsters, which they claim to have been fighting for the past 20 years, why should I unquestioningly accept the narrative about killing Osama bin Laden in Abbottabad? Because at the end of the day, after all these contradictions, after all these loopholes in the story of Osama bin Laden's death, asking me to believe that bin Laden was in Abbottabad without any proof is nothing short of an insult to my intelligence, to my logic, to my basic comprehension skills. Until there is no solid proof like the world was shown with Gaddafi and Saddam Hussein, I will not believe it. If any world leader shamelessly says that Osama bin Laden was in Pakistan, they have to add some proofs to their story. They have to show us the evidence. The burden of proof is on them, not on Pakistan.